Good deal. Thank you all for being here. Tough emotional loss on Thursday night. Talked about it right after the game. Thought our guys played extremely hard. Thought we prepared well, gave us an opportunity to be in that game. And we missed a great opportunity on the road versus number 12 team in the country on national TV. But I don't want to take away from how our guys played, which I was proud of the effort and the intensity. Quick recap, I thought our special teams played really well, probably our best game overall. Had a huge advantage in special teams. Baylor was a quality unit coming in. I'll hit on the negatives and the positives in each phase. Negatives, our penalty on the opening kickoff return put us in a bind there. Had to start inside the 10-yard line. We had an offsides penalty on kickoff, and obviously the blocked field goal there at the end, where we didn't take our proper steps, laid off the ball, and it cost us big time. Positives, we had a kickoff return for a touchdown, I think the first one here since 2014. We've blocked kickoff return really well all year. We hadn't done a very good job in the return game, and obviously we just didn't pick the right guy. So Winston got it, took the first one to the house, and he'll obviously be the kickoff returner for the rest of the year. Had a huge fumble recovery on punt on our punt coverage team, and our punt coverage has been excellent all year. And there's nothing, that game was, I think, where they had negative punt return yardage. They had a 43.6 net punt, which is really impressive. Our kickoff coverage was really good. Thought our punt block team was the best it's been all year. We effected 2 punts. Defensively, next phase talk about, that's the best we've played from start to end in a game all year. There's been times where we played at a high level defensively, but that was the best we played for a whole game. Credit to our defense staff and our players. Thought we had a great scheme, and I thought our players executed that. The negatives, we just missed too many tackles. We had several opportunities, especially there at the end of the game on that drive where they were able to kick a field goal. We missed several tackles on the quarterback draw that set up that. But we got to do a better job in that area. And then we had a couple critical alignment errors that allowed them to convert a couple third downs. The positive, I thought our D-line was dominant. I know Coach Rules talked about that. We had 8 sacks, 12 tackles for loss. Goal line stand before the half was huge. And then we forced 2 fumbles. And I thought we played really physical. Offensively, we physically got whipped up front. We didn't play well enough to win at any position offensively. Our margin for error is really small offensively, and we just continue to beat ourselves, man. Whether it's procedure penalties, drops, we had 2 bad snaps, critical errors at inopportune times. Top performers, want to recognize some people. I thought defensively, these guys all played at a high level. Jeffrey Pooler and Dylan Tonkery played their best games that they played this year. And then obviously Darius Stills, I thought I saw in one outlet he won the Big 12 Defensive Player of the Week, well deserved in that. Reese Donahue has played well now for the whole month of October. And then Sean Mahone and Noah Guzman, both of those guys played their best football of the year. Special teams, guys stood out, Winston Wright obviously, and then Josh Grouden had his best day as far as punting the football. Offensively, really the only guy was George Campbell. He did some good things. He'll be more involved as we move forward. A couple personnel updates. I think you saw Ricky Johns yesterday put his name in the transfer portal, and then and Jack Allison also. Jack has made the decision to enter transfer portal. He graduates in December, so this was a decision that he came to me with, and I love Jack. I like him a lot. He's been a great teammate here. He wants to go play, and I support that. He's got an internship that he's got to get hours before he graduates, so I support him in that. Some injury updates. All right, so Kenny McCoy, Noah Guzman left the game on Thursday. I think they're questionable. We'll see how they progress as a week, but I am hopeful that both of them will play. Qualls had surgery today. He'll be out for the year. Josh Chandler is questionable. We're going to kind of build up. He'll work a little bit today. He'll kind of build up through the week, and we'll see how that goes. Staley missed the game on Thursday night. He'll be questionable again. I think it's a muscle injury in his leg, so a lot of it just depends on how he heals. I would say he's very questionable. TJ Simmons left the game late in the first quarter. I would say he's doubtful for the game. We'll see how he goes. I'm not saying he's out yet, but he's doubtful. Sean Ryan will be out this week, but I think he's getting real close. I think he's getting real close, just not ready for contact yet. Barrett left the game in the second quarter on Thursday. We'll see how he progresses this week. Giovanni Haskins should be back. He did not play Thursday night. He's had a kind of a core muscle injury. It hadn't allowed him to run, but I think he'll be able to run full speed. And then Drayshawn Miller is improving, but he will not go this week. Okay, he's improving. Again, I think he'll be back at some point this year, but he's not available this week. So a lot of positives take away from last week as a team. Thought our coaches and players did a good job preparing for that game, and we've got to continue to focus on us and getting better. Kind of flip the page to Texas Tech. Excited to get back home. We haven't played home since I think it's going to be 5 weeks almost, and so excited to get back home in front of the home crowd. Game between two teams that are really hungry for a win. A lot of respect for Matt Wells and his staff. They did a great job really developing that program at Utah State. Just kind of brief intro of them. Special teams wise, the guy, special teams coordinator there, he's been a lot of places, really highly respected in the special teams world, sound in really every phase. They got freshmen at all the specialist positions. Their punter and their kicker and their long snapper are all freshmen, and they've really been strong. I think field goal kickers making high percentage, kickoffs guys got a high percentage of touchbacks, and their punters right there near the top of the conference. So really sound there. They've already blocked a couple field goals and had a kickoff return versus Kansas for a touchdown. They got called back, but they've got a couple returners that can go. Defensively, there are multiple coverage front team. They bounce back and forth between 3 and 4 down. The coordinator was here at one point. I think I read a stat where right now I think their scoring defense is the lowest it's been maybe since 2009 there. They played very well early in games, okay, especially in the first quarter. I think they got 3 guys that really stick out. The Coleman kid leads the country in interceptions. He's around the ball a lot. And then the linebacker Brooks is as good as anybody in our league at that position. And then they've got a D lineman, Washington Jr., who I think's really good. Plays the run exceptionally well. Does a good job getting off defenders. Offensively, play with a lot of tempo. They had one of the best offenses in the country at Utah State. Their coordinator there goes back to Missouri when Chase Daniel was there, and they were playing really fast. And they're a team that plays with a lot of tempo. Balanced. I think they have one of the top offensive lines in our conference. A lot of experience. 3 guys I think that started 29+ games up front. The running back Thompson is a freshman. I think he's a tough runner. He does a really good job of driving his knees. He's broken a lot of tackles over the last few weeks. They've got the receiver Vasher that's really long, tall. Really has won a lot of one-on-one balls and gone up on top and gotten them. Quarterback Duffy. I think he's a capable runner, but he gets the ball out extremely fast. Gets the ball to playmakers. I think we got to prepare for Bowman too. It's my understanding he's making some progress. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see him. And just to kind of wrap up, this game, first game in November, and I think all teams are judged and kind of remembered for how they finish. So this is our opportunity. We're coming back home. There's a lot going on this week. We got Mountaineer Week on campus. It's true blue for all our fans, so hopefully everybody that's coming out will wear blue. And then most importantly, it's Military Appreciation Day, and it's a day where we're going to honor our state's veterans. With Veterans Day coming on Monday following the game, and we'll have 2 honorary captains. U.S. Army Major Fred Boom Boom Smalls, who I watched some clips earlier today of him sacking Doug Flutie, so I think our fans will have real fond memories of him. And then former U.S. Army Specialist Ted Daniels. So Ted Daniels and Fred Smalls will be honorary captains for Military Appreciation Day. And we're going to do something from a uniform perspective that we'll release later this week, and it'll honor the veterans from the state of West Virginia. So encourage our fans to wear blue, come out and support our team. Nobody's pleased with the results that we've had at this point, but we got a great opportunity to finish strong. Our guys are playing the game the right way, and the game will be entertaining. So hopefully we have a crowd that's here. It's a 12 o'clock kick, and they're here early, and they're loud because we need them. So with that, I'll open up questions.
Neal, injuries in a lot of spots. To start with running back, what you're going to do with your rotation with Kennedy can't go.
Yeah, and like I said, I'm hopeful Kennedy's going to go, but Mathis is going to play. Letty, who's got to play better, you know, and he's played better at times. He didn't play very well. He's no different than anybody else on offense, though, in that game Thursday night. But Letty will play, Mathis will play, and then Kennedy will continue to play if he's ready to go.
Neal, prior to Thursday, the third quarter had been where things had kind of spiraled away from you guys, and that obviously didn't happen against Baylor. What has been causing that, and what was different last week about that?
Well, you know, it's kind of everything works in cycles. You know, we've actually, if you go back, even the third quarter versus Missouri, we played pretty good, and then we came out, played really well in the third quarter versus NC State. Then we played, then we went through that spell there where we didn't play good for whatever reason. You know, after Kansas game, because I think we had 2 or 3 games in a row where we scored the first drive, third quarter. Then we came out of the locker room pretty strong. We got turned over on the first play of the night, drove it down. We had first and goal to 9, and that's when the second of the bad snaps occurred. That's something we really concentrate on during the bye week. If you look at it, we call it really the middle 8, and it's the last 4 minutes of the first half, first 4 minutes of the second half, and that's something that we really talked to our team about a lot about during the bye week. We changed kind of some formatting in practice where we've kind of practiced in quarters, the first, second, third, fourth quarter, and kind of set up practice where we'd be better coming off a break. And I think it did help us.
Without Jack, who's going to back up Austin?
Yeah, so Jarrett Davey and Trey Lowe, I think they'll both have opportunity to potentially see time in this game. We're going to kind of let them compete it out for the backup spot.
You mentioned Tonkery having a good game last week. A position change for him. Just what was it about what he did that you liked so much?
Well, I thought he did a really nice job blitzing. And the Mike and the bandit positions, the way we're using them right now, aren't a whole lot different. So what we did the other day is we took one linebacker out and played Guzman in what we call our rover position. And Tonker was still playing in the middle of the defense, other than he was technically the bandit. But I thought he did a really good job of timing up some of his rushes. I thought he did a good job chasing down the balls. He missed fewer tackles than he has. And I think it's just he's getting more comfortable with what we're doing.
You know, the quarterback thing, where you said that you have a plan to get one or the other end, just to get him a series? Or
Yeah, I think it's fair. I think that's. I think we're kind of looking at the quarterback position like we have all our positions on offense. We got to get better, and we're gonna. I'm not necessarily going to broadcast what our plans are. I don't think that does anything but help Texas Tech. But I think we will have some. We'll have some plans to use those other 2 guys if needed.
At this point in the season, what can be done to address drops, which have been?
It's really repetitions. I mean, when you go about it, I think some of it's a confidence issue. So you start thinking about it. But I think you solve it through repetitions, which is something we've done. We'll continue to focus on. Maybe even put an increasingly focus on. We've moved tennis ball machines into our position room. We've added within the 20-hour rule. We've added jugs machine into their workout. So we're doing some things to increase the repetition of catching balls. It's really not just been the drops. It's been the critical point of those drops. Third downs. The other night we had an opportunity to flip this field. It was going to be a 25-plus game.
You were a receiver, so are hands developed, or do you just
You can get better. Natural? Yeah, I think you can get better. I think you can go from average to good. Then you can go bad to average. I don't think you can necessarily go bad to great.
You've run into a bunch of good nose guards. Where does this one fit with what you've had?
They're good players.
Yeah.
You know, I think that there is quality nose guards in our league. And it's one of those things, once you put it on film, that you have a difficult time with a head-up nose, and guess what you're going to find? You know what I mean? You're going to get head-up nose. And so until we do a better job versus those head-up noses, then that's what we're going to continue to see. And a lot of it for us is just technique-based. We've got to play a better technique on the interior of our offensive line. We've got to play better. We've got to play a better technique. We've got to do what we're coached to do.
Looking back at the snaps, was anybody barking anything on the other side of the
No,
ball?
I mean, I think you can see on film where the Baylor player was clapping. I'm not sure he was clapping to simulate the snap or not. I think there's probably a distinct difference between a clap coming in front of you and a clap coming from behind you. But obviously they're costly. You know, if you look at it, I think we had both of them after turnovers, and one of them I think was 2nd and 4. And then we go back, and the thing about it is we had opportunities to overcome both of those, and we just didn't. Like on the one there where the first one that goes overhead, we were going to be in the Wildcat there. I think it was 2nd and 4. Snap goes overhead. We run a 3rd down pass. We got 3 guys open. We don't throw it to any of them. And we had a chance to get in field goal range. And those are the kind of plays that get you beat. Everybody focuses on the end of the game, but there's all those opportunities during the course of a game where you just make a routine play. Then, like if we make a routine play right there, we put ourselves in a chance to kick a field goal. Whether we make it or not, who knows? It would give us a chance. Then we go down, it's 1st and goal, and then 9, first drive of the second half, and we had multiple opportunities to get on that ball. You know, it's going to be 2nd and long, but we still give ourselves a chance to kick a field goal if we get on the ball.
Neal, how does Trey end up on punt team?
Well, because we've done that a bunch. So if you go back and look at that at Troy, the kid that's a starter right now, Caleb Barker at Troy, we played him on the punt team. And we had some difficulties with the rush against Oklahoma. So one way to kind of stymie that is give them fake looks. So obviously we got an opportunity to do multiple fakes with Trey Lowe out on the punt team.
But also, is he good at the
Yeah,
stuff he would traditionally do?
yeah. Well, and the other thing too is so he's a big kid. He can run. He's strong, and so we're not asking to do anything overly difficult on that team, but he can run and cover. And it worked. We're going to continue to work him there. It slowed their rush. With Baylor, they slowed down. They rushed one less person and played them back in defense. I think you have to, you know, with a quarterback back there that has an opportunity. Not only can he run the ball in fakes, but he also can pass it.
You know, how important was your time at Texas Tech and getting you to where you are today?
You know, I enjoyed our time in Lubbock. My wife and I, we have some really good friends, maybe as good as we've made through all our moves in Lubbock. I think it was important. You know, that was my first Power 5 coordinating experience. It was a unique time in that program's history because of the way Leach left and all that kind of stuff. Was fortunate enough to coach some really good players. We had some really good offenses there. But that's a time that I look back that we definitely enjoyed. Our middle daughter, our middle child, our second daughter, Angela, she was born in Lubbock.
You know, early in the season, we talked a lot about Mike Brown and his relative inexperience.
Mhm.
Casey Legg had even less experience than him really coming in. Just
Yeah, it's kind of unique.
how unique of a situation is that?
Yeah, it's unique. I think Mike Molinari, who's a punter here, it's on our staff now. He was, you know, before he became on staff, he was in medical sales, and Casey's dad's an orthopedic surgeon in Charleston. And I think his dad, the way I understand it, is he just kind of mentioned that Casey started kicking balls, and then